We've all seen planes flying thousands of meters above us, been aboard them, and some may have also wondered how these multi-million-dollar aircraft get into the sky. The truth is, these planes are rarely the property of the airlines that has their logo all over them. There are only two key companies in the civil aircraft industry. Airbus, which is a European company, secured just over 140 deliveries in the summer of 2022. On the other hand, Boeing, their competitor, founded and based in the United States, delivered a total of 112. Planes are expensive, costing hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases. The list price for a new Airbus A380 can reach upwards of $445 million, but some discounted aircraft will sell for as little as $86 million. While these figures may appear high, especially given that airlines have massive fleets of planes such as Ryanair, which has 383 planes, airlines do not wire Airbus or Boeing hundreds of millions in cash for a single plane. Instead, they buy dozens at a time. In 2017, Airbus finalized a transaction worth $49.5 billion in list price jets with Indigo Partners, a firm which focuses on the budget air transport industry. They purchased 430 A320neo aircraft. This can be an example of picking between leasing and purchasing aircraft with cash. While the list price figure is $49.5 billion, it would have been lower, since placing large orders benefits from economies of scale. The saving in costs gained by an increased level of production of these aircraft by Airbus is passed down to the buyer. This is precisely the reason airlines usually lease planes, since many don't have the capital to buy them outright. It is faster and easier to lease when you are a startup airline. Around 4 out of every 10 aircraft are currently on lease from leasing companies. Thomas Conlon explains, leasing companies tend to have better credit ratings than most airlines. Therefore, they can borrow at better rates and pass some of this advantage onto their customers. They are also able to place bulk orders that makes it easier to secure big discounts from manufacturers such as Boeing and Airbus. Leasing an aircraft, the leasing agreement usually includes a 7 to 10 year contract. As well as this, the airline would have to put up a down payment equivalent to 3 to 6 months. Then, the airline would make monthly payments based on the value of the aircraft. Most airlines that you have flown on will be paying around $700,000 to $1.1 million a month for the aircraft that you are flying on. This will also depend on the credit rating and the value of the aircraft. A 787-8 will cost around $800,000 to $1.25 million a month. An airline with a good to excellent credit rating will see rates of 0.75% of the market price a month, which would be around $940,000 for that particular airline. To put this into perspective, this plane would be worth around $135 million if bought outright. Airlines that show that they can consistently profit, such as Ryanair, this Irish low-cost carrier has an aggressive and affordable pricing strategy. As a result, have the finances many airlines don't have, and can also think about purchasing aircraft and not have a need for leasing. Their fleet only has around 33 leased aircraft from the previously mentioned 383 plane fleet. Now, you might be wondering how these companies actually have the cash to buy hundreds of millions, sometimes even billions worth of planes. There are two main ways an airline or leasing company will purchase the aircraft. One of these is an ETC, which stands for Equipment Trust Certificate. This is basically a pot of money that is set up by a leasing company which allows people to buy shares into that pot of money. In exchange for money, the company will also have to pay out interest to these investors. This is the way that money is raised to purchase aircraft. When the pot has enough money, the leasing company will buy the asset, in this case, an aircraft. The aircraft will be held in trust, while the airline or lessee pays monthly payments to pay off the initial investors. At the end, when the debt has been paid off, the title of the aircraft will be transferred to the airline. A more common way nowadays is the EETC, Enhanced Equipment Trust Certificate. It is very similar to the ETC, but the EETC combines many aircraft purchases into one debt security, or pot of money. Since EETCs provide higher liquidity and a broader investor base, they are preferred over the standard ETC, due to the cost savings and flexibility as a result of not having to set up ETCs for separate aircraft purchases. So, the next time you're on vacation, don't forget that the plane you're on is bought in a way no different than the average car lease, but on a much, much larger scale.